Am I the asshole for refusing to take in my father's daughter? My father cheated on my mother and got another woman pregnant. Mom immediately filed for divorce. He went on to marry the other woman. My dad didn't have much custody of me when I was little. He was a nice and tried really hard, but my mom was my primary custodian and there is nothing that I wouldn't do for her. I guess the fact that he always disrespects my mom, acts like she is the reason he cheated, just made me hate him. My mother also strictly told my father that I am not to have any contact with his wife-child. This happened when I was 5. I am now 20. Right now, I don't have any family except for my father, with whom I have cut all contact with. He didn't come to my mom's funeral and that was the last straw for me. Few months ago, my father's daughter, Tracy, contacted me. Turns out that she has lost both her parents to the pandemic. She was about to go into foster care and begged me to help her. I told her very politely that I do not want to have any contact with her and that she cannot possibly expect me to take care of her when I am just a broke college student. She told me that she had plans and she would work and all I have to do is not let her go into foster home. She told me that she will take care of herself. She asked me to help her as I am her sister. As I mentioned, I have no clue about this person. I don't even know if what she was suggesting was legally possible. In the end, I told her that I wasn't in any position to help her and I don't know her. I told her that while we do have the same father, I don't consider him to be my father and I don't consider her to be my sister. I wished her luck but also firmly told her that I do not wish to have any contact with her. After that I ignored any attempt she made to contact me. She has recently started trying to contact me again. I had some glimpse at the messages and she alternates between calling me monster, heartless to how awful her foster home is. I haven't responded. Am I the asshole?
Nah, she's a scared 14 to 15-year-old in foster care and you're the only option she can see out of it. It sucks but you aren't wrong. You don't have to have a relationship with her, and it's not like you were in any position to take care of her. It's a sucky situation but it's probably best if you ask her to stop messaging you and if she doesn't block her. I understand she's going through a lot but it doesn't give her the right to take it out on you, a Stranfor.
Nah, this is just so sad. You both are innocent in this situation with no control over what happened to you. I can understand why you feel the way you do. While I don't think you should have to take on an enormous responsibility, I'd hope you can remember that she is no more responsible for this situation than you are. It's so sad that you were both left to clean up a mess you did not create. Just remember that she is only 15 and your father's mistakes are his and his alone, not hers. If you respond to her at any point, please be kind.
Nah, I don't blame her for doing whatever it takes to get away from foster care. Even if it is contacting someone she doesn't know. I also don't blame you for turning her down. That is a big commitment for someone your age. You shouldn't be guilted into something like that for someone you don't even know.
Nah, you can't afford to take care of a virtual stranger. She sounds like a scared kid. ETA, though if her parents are dead, so is your father. Really cut him off hard, didn't you?
Nah, I'm shocked that her parents didn't coordinate any sort of plan should this scenario happen. Does she not have any other relatives on her mother's side?
Nah, but damn, you and your sibling are certainly paying the price for other people's thoughts and decisions. What do you think of having a sibling? Not what your dad did nor how your mom told you to feel how you feel. Even though it might be possible the fact as a broke college student isn't going on the list of good parents for this kid and the social services would shut it down right away.
Nah, her parents failed her. It is the responsibility of the parents to find a willing and able party to take care of their children in the event that something happens to them. 15 years. And her parents hadn't thought to make a backup plan.
You are the asshole. It's one thing to not want her to live with you, it's another to tell her that you want no contact because you hate your dad. She didn't choose to be born. You partially lost your dad as a child and she just lost both her parents. At the very least you should have been able to show basic empathy to her as a human being. Just like you are still affected from your childhood traumas you are choosing to add to hers, she will carry this moment.
Nah, I'm sorry to tell you this but while your father was the big asshole, your mom was too for forbidding your father and you to have any contacts with his kid. I understand she was hurt but she made it all about herself instead of thinking about the children. I suspect this would have been different if you had a relationship with your sister.
No assholes here for you and biological sister. Your mom and dad are the assholes here. Your dad for blaming your mom for parental and sibling alienation.
You are the asshole. Yes, I said it. What your father did, it is not fault of your half-sister. Yeah, you said you are broke college student. Fine, but you are legally adult. Do you know how foster cares works? You are thinking you punishing your father, but you are possibly opening a window to ruin for your half-sister life. You can avoid her. If she promised that she will take care of her means, at least you should give a try. What if the tables are turned? You are the asshole, but not for refusing to take her in. You are the asshole for cutting her off completely. She is all alone in the world, and like it or not, she is your half-sister. You could try to think about how she feels and at least make an attempt to form a relationship.
Nah, I would be very wary of taking in a teenager who is mourning the death of both parents. The teen years are a storm even without that kind of thing, and especially without financial resources. I don't blame her for her freakout considering her circumstances. Though I do think she should try working adult members of her mother's family or your father's family rather than you.
Your mom is a gigantic asshole who turned you into the person you are now. She strictly told your father that you am not to have any contact with his wife-child. You probably see this as a good thing, that she was the good guy, standing up for you and protecting you from the cheater and his bad family, but that was a horrible thing to do to a child. Parents often try to manipulate the child into hating the other parent in a divorce, and it seems you blame your father for doing this, but see your mother as a saint for doing even worse. This is honestly very sad. And #X200B. Ultimately, you aren't obligated to take in your half-sister, but this is just your mom getting the last laugh here. The fact that you don't know your half-sister at all is very messed up.
No assholes here. I do want to point out that if you actually wanted to take care of this individual, finances probably wouldn't be a barrier. She is probably eligible for Social Security survivors benefits, food stamps, Medicaid, etc. Could even be possible for a relative to get the foster care stipend, not sure. But I see absolutely nothing wrong with you not wanting to take care of this person that you don't even know just because of some shared segments of DNA.
If this was real, a social worker would be contacting you, not her. I'd contact CPS and tell them what is going on. This doesn't sound right.
Nah, speaking as someone who's gone through foster care. It's awful, but you don't have the means to care for her, nor do you even know her. So I can't fault you.
You unloaded on your 15-year-old orphan sister. Just tell her the foster care people won't let you take care of her. You don't need make her suffer emotionally like you did. You are no better than your father. You are the asshole.
Not the asshole. And please ignore the people insisting you must care about her or connect with her because you happen to share blood. That's not what makes family.
No assholes here, but this is the kind of thing that would eat at my heart until I gave in.
Not the asshole. Truly sucky situation for you both.
You are the asshole. Good to see you maintained your mom's bitterness. There is no way you can say foster care is better than being with you. Nah, this is a godawful, scary situation for the both of you. She's lost her parents and facing the prospect of growing up in foster care. You're also on your own, and trying to put yourself in school, which likely means that you wouldn't be able to provide the help she needs. And she would need help, despite how independent any teenager thinks they are. Focus on taking care of yourself, and try to forgive her for lashing out at you. It's probably not personal, but the result of going through traumatic events with nobody to blame.
Look, I'm really good person. People of Reddit will tell you that she doesn't deserve this. What your father did is none of her fault. You are cruel for doing this to a child. You shouldn't forgive your father. Forgiveness is for you. Blah blah blah. Bees. Do what you want to do. Not let these stranger tell you that how you should feel and what you should do.
Oh my, what a mess. No assholes here except for your parents. If your father was unhappy, he should have tried counseling and then gotten a divorce if the marriage could not be saved rather than have an affair. But your mother alienated you from your father and your half-sister, and that was wrong too. You should not have been made to feel like you had to take sides. I cannot help but feel so terribly sorry for your innocent half-sister. Foster care is often just dreadful and she must be scared. Why can't you at least get to know her? Isn't it possible that having a sister might actually enrich your life? It would not in any way be a betrayal of your mother. Someone needs to be an advocate for that poor child. No assholes here. You don't have the capacity to look after her either financially or emotionally. It would be harmful for her to stay with someone who doesn't want her. I hope she's able to find a different relative or family friend to help her, who's better able to do it than you are.
Nah, you probably already know why at this point. But please do try and help her out a little. Doesn't need to be too much. But I'm sure she'll be very grateful to you for that. Don't harbor any hate towards her because your dad was an asshole. Good luck.
Except for your sister. Your dad is an asshole for cheating and disrespecting your mom. Your mom for not allowing you to spend time with your sister. Neither of your parents had your best interest in mind, and it has ended with you having zero relationship with a sibling. You for not even attempting to connect with your sister. You don't need to take her in, but you also never even gave her a chance. You're messing up a potentially great relationship with the only family you have left, before it even started.
You are the asshole. Not because of not being able to take her in. I understand not everyone can take in a teenager. But for being so cold towards her and her situation.
Update if you can op. While I personally don't believe you're the asshole, I definitely think you would be by letting her go through this suffering alone. In the end, we're all humans. We seek connection to others, and this poor girl lost everyone she had due to something completely unexpected. Don't see her as your half-sister, but rather just another human being that needs help right now. And while you're definitely not obligated to help anyone you don't want to, having the means to help and not doing it will only come back to bite you one way or another. Not saying financially either. Just lending an ear will go a lot further for her than you think. No assholes here is my judgment, but you should really consider everything op.
No assholes here, but if you're truly not an asshole, you're probably going to keep thinking about this decision for the rest of your life. You could consider an alternative solution where you maintain contact from time to time so that you can assist her if her foster care situation becomes dicey. Maybe consider stopping the pattern of using family members to get revenge on other family members for past hurts. I'm not saying take her in and take custody of her, but maybe you actually could turn this into a meaningful blood relationship. Neither of you have any other family, why ruin this last bond? She didn't do anything to you, it was your parents, not her. Reconciliation and healing are good things, and possible. Why perpetuate the bad behavior?
You are the asshole. That girl is your sister. Your mother was also the asshole for alienating you from your father. Your father cheated on your mom, but based on what you've posted, he made an effort to keep you on his life, and your mom prevented him from doing that. Has it occurred to you that your dad didn't go to your mom's funeral because he knew he wouldn't be welcome there? Maybe he did mourn her on his own. You can't possibly know that because that man is dead anyway.
You don't have to take her in, but to say what you said makes you are the asshole.
You are the asshole. She is your sister. You should try to help her. Your father's behavior is not one bit her fault.
1. You need to stop idolizing your mom. She didn't just steal you away from your dad, she stole a whole family from loving you away. Your whole life could have been different if she was less vindictive. I am sorry that he cheated, but thousands of partners cheat and they put the child first and co-parent. 2. Stop blaming this child for your mom and dad's toxic relationship. 3. Don't take her in if you don't want. You'd get money for it. But let go of your mom's argument. It is not yours to have. 4. She could be being abused. Foster homes are notoriously bad. Not the asshole. She's a stranger to you, and honestly you can't even afford to care for another person. If you don't want to hear from her, continue to block her on all platforms.
Nah. But if you in any way can, I hope you are willing to keep an eye on her. Children, and elderly for that matter, that genuinely has nobody are far more vulnerable for abuse.
I blame your mom for denying you a relationship with your half-sister. That's who is to blame. All drama aside, that sucks. This poor child was punished for what? Being born to the wrong parent. You're a gross person raised by a gross person. Good luck in your life. Slight, you are the asshole. She is really struggling and only has you as potential help. Both of her parents died. She is all alone in the world except for you and in a hostile environment. It is selfish and kind of heartless of you not to try to help her a bit. Even if it just is to give her some emotional support. You don't owe her anything, but this is the more humane thing to do. You don't have to take her in, of course, and you aren't an A for not doing it, but I would say give it a try. I am also a 20-year-old broke uni, so I get it, but I think it has the potential to turn out great for you both. You are the asshole, she's your sister and she didn't ask to be born. You don't have to sacrifice your life for her, but you could help her to find a safer arrangement until she's able to care for herself. The trauma of both parents dying and then the trauma of foster care. Holy crap. I think you just resent her and are wanting her to feel pain you feel. That's immature.
Info: if your half-sister has lost both her parents to the pandemic, wouldn't that mean your father is dead? You might want to work out the timeline of your father's illness and death. He might not have meant to miss your mother's funeral if he was already sick. You are not the asshole to not want to take in a 15-year-old when you are in no position to take her in, being only 20 years old, but it isn't fair to blame her for your father's actions.
Feel like this may be above the sub. I honestly can't help to think that still, your mom's influence, still understanding of it, is affecting your choice on this. I personally think forbidding you to not at least have a relationship with your sister wasn't the best action to take, because you don't even want to get to know her now. But, no one can force you. If you know you will feel okay with continuing on, then there's nothing wrong with that for you. But just know you don't have to have those influences affect choices for today.
Nah, she's 15 years old and needs help, but you aren't in a position to give it.
Not the asshole, but I think it's terrible what she's going through. Does she have an aunt or uncle from your dad's or her mother's side? A more adult?
Definitely not the asshole. She is not your responsibility.
Not the asshole. However, you should consider at least trying to get to know her. It is not her fault her dad cheated. And honestly, your mother did play a part in you and your sister not having a relationship, though I'm sure she thought it was for the best. Another thing is the foster system is bad, real bad. She's probably terrified, and although you don't owe it to her, you could be a big light in her life and help her a lot just by staying in touch. You don't have to take care of her, but try to be her friend. Don't let hate and resentment destroy yet another generation. At 20 years old, I was still learning how to take care of myself. I focused on college and my part-time job. Taking a 15-year-old in right now would be a huge burden for you, and you shouldn't feel guilty for simply not being able to. However, none of this is her fault. It's not her fault that she was born. It's not her fault that she's in foster care without any family. You could try to have some sort of relationship with her. Who knows, down the line you might even appreciate having a sister.
You are the asshole.